All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, as always, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to you, sincere and hopeful elect Akim, pushing the word of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in spirit and in truth. All right. La Ma'a Arabayim Arabai Alap. That is to say, 244,000. Okay, so to the hopeful elect, which is, the 144,000 foot soldiers, prophets, so to say, shalom to you for your labor of love. So in this lesson, after doing some reading in the book of Second Kings, the Spirit hit me with a lesson, and the title will be, as you can see, Behind Enemy Lines, Prisoner of War, P.O.W. And just showing you, highlighting the difference between, the kings of Israelites, and the heathen, Esau in particular. Okay, we are a merciful people. We serve a merciful power, and we actually extend that mercy, being that we are, like I said, a merciful people. And that's illustrated in some of the precepts I'm gonna bring out. And with that, that Esau is the complete opposite, of merciful. Esau has no mercy. All right. Now, matter of fact, let me see. There's a precept that tells you that the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. All right. Proverbs 12:10. It says, "A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel." Okay, so, a righteous man is gonna regard, his beast. Whether it's a donkey, whether it's a horse, cattle, sheep, goats, all right, chickens, you name it. A righteous man is gonna, regard their life. All right, a righteous man isn't gonna give, slop to, his farm animals. Like Esau, give animals food that they're not even supposed to eat, that they don't naturally eat. That's not regarding their life. All right, and those same animals that eat that, BS foods, eat those BS foods, are getting slaughtered and sent to your dinner plate. So not to mention Esau's pumping them full of, growth hormones. All right. A brother on the chat had just put up a video of some Edomite in Australia that raped a pig. All right, I forget the pig's name, but they filmed the pig, and it was caught all on video, and pretty much the judge let this guy walk. All right. That's why Job said he wouldn't, set Esau amongst his dogs. Okay, because Esau is a perverse spirit, and he'll do some nasty stuff, to animals. All right, which that's bestiality, which is an abomination, which deserves death. Okay, so a righteous man wouldn't do nothing like that, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. All right, so Esau, being a cruel spirited nation, would do something like that, raping a pig or a horse or some crazy stuff. Okay. So whenever Esau considers himself showing you some type of mercy, it's really, wickedness, uh, uh, that's plated in tungsten. All right. Fool's gold. Okay. He's giving you a fool's gold covered turd. All right. So starting here in 2 Kings, and I'm gonna read this in the NLT, chapter 6, verse 8, and it says, Elisha traps the Arameans, all right, which are the Syrians, which, the Syrians are our forefathers. Uh, lineage stems from the Syrians. All right. Abraham actually came from, amongst those Syrians. Okay. Uh, you had Laban, all right, of Padan Aram, all right, Laban the Syrian, which was relative to Jacob, all right, relative to Isaac, okay, relative to Abraham, all right. So this is well after those great men lived. But here in verse 8 NLT, it says, when the king of Aram was at war with Israel, he would confer with his officers and say, we will mobilize our forces at such and such place. But immediately Elisha, the man of the Most High, would warn the king of Israel, do not go near the place, for the Arameans are planning to mobilize their troops there. So the king of Israel would send word to the place indicated by the men of the Most High. Time and again, Elisha warned the king so that he would not be so that he would be on the alert there. The king of Aram became very upset over this. He called his officers together and demanded, which of you is the traitor? Who hath been informing the king of Israel of my plans? It's not us, my lord king. One of the officers replied, Elisha, the prophet in Israel, tells the king of Israel even the words you speak in the privacy of your bedroom. Go and find out where he is, the king commanded, so I can send troops to seize him. And the report came back, Elisha is at Dothan. Okay, so the Heavenly Father was communing with Elisha, informing him of what the king had in mind pertaining to coming up against the kingdom of Israel, all right, which was the northern kingdom at that time, all right, which, they were on good terms with the southern kingdom at this time, all right, because I believe it was around 2 kings prior to this king that was currently ruling in the northern kingdom, Jehoshaphat, and of the southern kingdom, all right, Jehoshaphat, and it was another king of the northern kingdom. I forget his name, but they were on good terms. All right. Verse 14, it says, so one night the king of Aram sent a great army with many chariots and horses and surrounded the city. When the servant of the man of the Most High got up early in the morning and went outside, there were troops, horses, and chariots everywhere. Oh, sir, what will we do now? The young man cried to Elisha. Don't be afraid, Elisha told him, for there are more on our side than on theirs. Then Elisha prayed, O Yahweh, open his eyes and let him see. Yahweh opened the young man's eyes, and when he looked up, he saw that the hillside round Elisha was filled with horses and chariots of fire. So you had the Heavenly Father that, had the chariots, the angels, surrounding Elisha, which the young man wasn't privy to. All right. But once the Heavenly Father opened his eyes, he seen that, Elisha was protected. All right. And really, that's the type of faith we have to have in these days, knowing that, the angels surely do encamp round about those that fear Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. So in these situations that, we find ourselves in, just always know that the angels are present. Okay. Especially you being a man of the Lord. serving Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you got to know that the Heavenly Father is present, that His Spirit is upon you. Okay. Verse 18, it says, as the Aramean army advanced toward him, Elisha prayed, O Yahweh, please make them blind. So Yahweh struck them with blindness as Elisha had asked. Then Elisha went out and told them, you have come the wrong way. This isn't the right city. Follow me, and I will take you to the man you are looking for. And he held them, and he led them to the city of Samaria, which was the capital. All right. If I'm not mistaken, Samaria was the capital of the northern kingdom. So pretty much Elisha took them to the king. All right. So he was informed, or the army was informed of what city to find Elisha. They go there, find Elisha, but they don't know it's him. They get blinded, and Elisha, takes them to the capital of the northern kingdom. All right. In verse 20, it says, as soon as they had entered Samaria, Elisha prayed, O Yahweh, now open their eyes and let them see. So Yahweh opened their eyes, and they discovered that they were in the middle of Samaria. When the king of Israel saw them, he shouted to Elisha, my father, should I kill them? Should I kill them? That's a Latin tribe, so-called Latin tribe, asking that. All right. Of course not, Elisha replied. This is the point. Okay, of course not, Elisha replied. Now, if it were some heathen, for the most part, in particular Esau, Edom, they would kill him. All right, that's Esau's he's bloodthirsty. Okay, Esau has no mercy. It says, do we kill prisoners of war? Give them food and drink and send them home again to their master. So that's the point. You're not supposed to kill a prisoner of war. It's a prisoner of war. Okay, if you kill them, then that defeats the purpose of them being a prisoner of war. All right, in which a prisoner of war is pretty much a bartering tool. All right, something that you can barter with, something you can trade with. Okay, quid pro quo, this for that. All right. It says, so the king made a great feast for them and then sent them home to their master. After that, the Aramean raiders stayed away from the land of Israel. Okay, so the God we serve is a merciful power, and the prophets themselves, all right, were merciful men, all right, and with that they took commands from the Heavenly Father. All right, but this just goes to show that we serve a merciful power, because these were some heathen that were coming to, to pretty much abduct to do a Maduro, pretty much. They was coming to do a Maduro. All right, come snatch you up and get up out of there. Okay, what President Trump did to Maduro. All right, put a bag over your head and put you in a Nike tech suit. All right, and the next thing you know, you in New York City, in a jail. Okay, so Elisha commanded them to do the opposite. All right, he actually made them a great feast. It said he made them he gave them food and drink. Okay, gave them food and drink and sent them home. All right, he made a feast. All right, in verse 23. Now, in 1 Kings 20 and 26, now as you see, it says another Aramean war. All right, now you gotta realize that modern day Aramea or Aram is Syria, which Syria, got taken down by the U.S. About 2 years ago. You had Bashar al-Assad that had to flee Syria and go to Russia, all right, to seek asylum from Vladimir Putin. All right, so um, Syria is north of northeast of modern day Israel. So they were pretty much at war with each other. They were in close proximity of each other, and they were back and forth at war. So here in First Kings 20 and 26, and I'm gonna read down in the NLT. It says, "The following spring he called up the Aramean army and marched out against Israel. This time at Aphek. Israel then mustered its army, set up supply lines, and marched out for battle. But the Israelite army looked like two little flocks of goats in comparison to the vast Aramean forces that filled the countryside. Then the man of the Most High went to the king of Israel and said, 'This is what Yahweh says. The Arameans have said, the Lord Yahweh is a power of the hills and not of the plains. So I will defeat this vast army for you. Then you will know that I am Yahweh.' The two armies camped opposite each other for 7 days, and on the seventh day the battle began. The Israelites killed 100,000 Aramean foot soldiers in one day. The rest fled into the town of Aphek, but the wall fell on them and killed another 27,000. Ben-Hadad fled into the town and hid in a secret room, which Ben-Hadad was the king of Syria. All right, he was the Aramean king. All right, so he fled into a town and hid in a secret room. Ben-Hadad's officers said to him, 'Sir, we have heard that the kings of Israel are merciful.'" All right, this is the point. All right, the kings of Israel are merciful. "So let's humble ourselves by wearing burlap around our waist and putting ropes on our heads and surrender to the king of Israel. Then perhaps he will let us. Then perhaps he will let you live." So they put on burlap and ropes, and they went to the king of Israel and begged. "Your servant Ben-Hadad says, 'Please let me live.'" The king of Israel responded, "Is he still alive? He is my brother." All right. And the reason why he stated that he is his brother is because, once again, they were related through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. Being that Abraham came from that region. All right. Verse 33 says, "The men took this as a good sign and quickly picked up on his words. 'Yes,' he said, 'your brother Ben-Hadad. Go and get him,' the king of Israel told them. And when Ben-Hadad arrived, Ahab invited him into his chariot. Ben-Hadad told him, 'I will give back the towns my father took from your father, and you may establish places of trade in Damascus,' all right, which is the capital of Syria, 'as my father did in Samaria,' all right, capital of Israel at the time. Then Ahab said, 'I will release you under these conditions.' So they made a new treaty, and Ben-Hadad was set free." All right, so another example of mercy shown to heathen from the Israelites. All right, now let's see what type of mercy Esau has. Okay, in particular to the Israelites. So this is Ezekiel 35:5 in the NLT. It says, "Your eternal hatred for the people of Israel led you to butcher them when they were helpless, when I had already punished them for all their sins. As surely as I live, says the sovereign Lord Yahweh, since you show no distaste for blood, I will give you a bloodbath of your own. Your turn has come." And that's what we see brewing up for the Edomites. All right, with the whole Mepstein Miles coming out. All right, showing Esau's debauchery, showing what these elites do behind closed doors. All right, eating babies, sacrificing to Baal and these different deities. Okay, raping little boys and little girls. All right, murdering individuals and throwing them in the sea for the sharks to eat, or burying them on Mepstein's ranch in New Mexico. All right, all kind of demonic stuff Esau, does. Okay, and in particular, look at the history of what they've done to the Israelites via slavery. Okay, the shit they did to us in slavery is just as bad, if not, well, is worse than this the Mepstein files, man. Okay, verse 7, it says, "I will make Mount Seir, all right, which is Esau's land, utterly desolate, which modern day Mount Seir will be America. All right, America is going to be completely desolate via thermonuclear destruction. All right, it says, I will make Mount Seir utterly desolate, killing off all who try to escape and any who return. I will fill your mountains with your dead, your hills, your valleys, and your ravines will be filled with people slaughtered by the sword. I will make you desolate forever. Your cities will never be rebuilt. Then you will know that I am Yahweh. For you said, the lands of Israel and Judah will be ours. We will take possession of them. What do we care that Yahweh is there?" All right, so they, the small hats, tiny tops is in the land of Israel right now. All right, showing no type of mercy to the nations that surround them. All right, immediately surrounding them or in the vicinity of them, is the Palestinians. All right, they ain't show them no mercy. All right, and for the most part, them ain't even Israelites. All right, you have Israelites mingled amongst them, scattered amongst them, but those are a mixture of so-called Middle Eastern nations. All right, but you see how Esau, all right, the small hats, the tribe of Amalek, which are Edomites, the chief of the Edomites, have control of the Holy Land, and have just corrupted it. If they're doing, you know, if the elites, the billionaires of the earth, are doing what they're doing, here in America in Mepstein Island. Okay, imagine what they're doing in the Holy Land. Being that when a lot of these small hats get caught red-handed doing, you know, vile acts, raping babies and things of that nature, they send them right to the land of Israel. Okay, they send them right to the land of Israel where they continue to do, their devilish works. Okay, so they are in the land, the Holy Land, thinking that they can do whatever the hell they want to, and thinking that they're gonna get away with it. All right, but it don't work like that. So once again, verse 10, it says, "For you said the lands of Israel and Judah will be ours. We will take possession of them. What do we care that Yahweh is there?" So they operate as if the Heavenly Father is not, uh, uh, um, in that land, as if the Heavenly Father's eye isn't continually monitoring, via the angels, what's going on in that land. Okay. Therefore, therefore, as surely as I live, says the sovereign Yahweh, I will pay back your angry deeds with my own. I will punish you for all your acts of anger, envy, and hatred, and I will make myself known to Israel by what I do to you. All right. So everything that we've been prophesying against the small hats, all right, against the nation of Esau, Edom, all right, so-called Caucasians, all right, no matter what continent, what country they claim to be in, um, you know, the prophets of Yahweh Shemel Shai have been prophesying judgment upon them. And that's when, the world over is going to realize, that the Heavenly Father is real when these prophecies actually come to pass. All right. Verse 12, it says, "Then you will know that I, Yahweh, have heard every contemptuous word you spoke against the mountains of Israel. For you said they are desolate. They have been given to us as food to eat. All right. And you have the uh I forget what the name of the doctrine is, that the greater Israel doctrine or something like that. You know, that Bibi Netanyahu, Benjamin Netanyahu, which is also in the Epstein Miles. All right. He was a friend of Epstein. All right. Um, you know, they're looking to expand uh, the territory of Israel, which is why they need to go to war against those nations that surround them. Okay, so the Lord has heard, you know, all the wicked things that those demons have been saying. All right, and imagine the things they discuss in private. All right, the wicked, you know, things they say against the Heavenly Father. All right, the Lord, he hears all that, man, and they gotta pay. Okay, verse 13 it says, "In saying that you boasted proudly against me, and I have heard it all. This is what the sovereign Yahweh says: the whole world will rejoice when I make you desolate. You rejoice at the desolation of Israel's territory. Now I will rejoice at yours. You will be wiped out, you people of Mount Seir, aka the Edomites. All right, and all who live in Edom. Then you will know that I am Yahweh." So, because of Esau having that perpetual hatred and boasting and bragging and blaspheming against Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, their end result is desolation. Okay? So the Heavenly Father's own people have been shown zero mercy from the devil. Okay? And currently we are prisoners of war. All right. This slave master Esau Edom didn't even have the decency to let us know who we are. All right, that's cruel, man. You know, to have a people in captivity, generation after generation after generation after generation, and you don't even tell them their true pedigree. All right, tell them their true heritage. All right, being that we are actually in their possession. We're been given as a as a so-called property to them for a period of time, being that we are still in captivity unto this day. Okay, so that's cruel, man. All right, that's not how you are supposed to treat prisoners of war. All right, so James 2:13 it says, "There will be no mercy for those who have not shown mercy to others, but if you have been merciful, the Most High will be merciful when He judges you." Okay, so Esau has not been merciful, and this is going into the brotherhood right here. All right, but we can apply this, um, to Esau as well, being that he has showed us no mercy. All right, so when the judgment comes around for Esau to be judged, there, as it says in the Bible dictionary pertaining to Esau, Edom, that's the only nation which the Heavenly Father has promised no mercy. Okay, so Esau will receive zero mercy from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, and let me see. This is Romans 9. Let me see. I'm gonna start at 10 in the NLT. This son was our ancestor Isaac. When he married Rebekah, she gave birth to twins. But before they were born, before they had done anything good or bad, she received a message from the Most High. This message shows that the Most High chooses people according to his own purposes. He calls people, but not according to their good or bad works. She was told, "Your younger son will serve your older son," and the excuse me, your older son will serve your younger son. That was Satan. Salakia. Your older son will serve your younger son. And the older son, the son that came out first, was Esau, and the son that came out last was Jacob, or our forefather. So in the end, as Second Ezra, the sixth chapter goes into, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, so we're living in a time in which we are going to see the trading places. All right, live and direct. Verse 13 it says, "In the words of the scriptures, I loved Jacob, but I rejected Esau." As are we saying then that the Most High was unfair? Of course not. For the Most High said to Moses, "I will show mercy to anyone I choose, and I will show compassion to anyone I choose." So it is the Most High who decides to show mercy. We can neither choose it nor work for it. Okay? So the Most High ultimately is going to show mercy to the nation of Israel in Esau, Edom, all right, the so-called Caucasian race, which includes Israelis, all right, small hats, tiny tops, Zionists, all right, they're all the same. They are the chief of the nation of Edom, which will be shown zero mercy from the Heavenly Father. Okay, so going back to the examples I brought out in the beginning of the mercy that the kings in Israel showed the heathen, all right, Esau himself didn't show any mercy to us despite him having us in his possession and able to do whatever he wanted to, you know. So there will be no mercy for the Edomites, all right, and we're approaching the time in which the Most High is gonna make good on his promises, being that Babylon the Great is gonna be destroyed, along with everything that comes to pass after that, in particular enslaving every Edomite on planet Earth. All right. So I just wanted to bring that out. Abaratazah, that was edifying. Until next time, Shalom.